Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra. Well, the wait is over. After nearly 20 years, Tata Technologies will finally get listed on the stock exchanges tomorrow. Tata Technologies, as you all know, is the first IPO from the Tata Group to be listing in the Indian stock markets after nearly 20 years. And most of the expectations that's coming on the street is that Tata Tech could be making a blockbuster debut on November 30th. Now, according to experts, the listing premium could actually be somewhere around 75 to 80 odd % over the issue price of 500 rupees per share. This means that the opening price for the stock could be anywhere between 875 to 900 rupees per share as per the stock market experts, which the stock market experts have been attributing to the strong parentage of Tata Group, healthy financial performance and the solid IPO subscription figures that we've seen, and of course the growth potential in the engineering services industry going forward from here. Ahead of the listing, we've also noted that the company shares have been trading with a premium of 375 rupees to 400 rupees in the unlisted market, in the grey market as well. So another premium of 82 odd % is what you have already been witnessing in the grey market. However, it's not the official figures or something that you go by. It's just speculative. But even stock market experts have been talking to us about a 75% kind of a listing that could happen. Now, the last IPO from the Tata Group, as you all know, was Tata Consultancy Services, TCS, in the year 2004 as well. And for those of you who had witnessed it, who had invested in the IPO of TCS and have been holding on for long term, till so far, well, you have been sitting on massive wealth creation as well, and perhaps that is an expectation that most of the Tata Group enthusiasts and investors have been hoping to get over the long-term period from Tata Technologies as well. Now, the Tata Tech IPO garnered significant attention in the stock markets among the 5 IPOs that launched together in the last week and received robust response from across categories of investors who bought these IPO bids over 69.4 times. The first Tata Group IPO in 2 decades garnered bids about 1.5 lakh crore rupees, which is much higher than the offer size of just about 3,000 odd crores. Now, we also saw Gandhar Oil Refinery, IREDA, Fedbank Financial Services, Flair Writing. These were the other IPOs of last week, and among those, Tata Tech was the one that was most widely anticipated and looked forward to by the investors community at large. Now, when we talk about the kind of investment figures we saw from the qualified institutional buyers, they took the lead in Tata Tech, subscribing their portion by 203 times the allotted quota, which was the highest since the IPO of NetWeb Technologies that had witnessed 220 times subscription in the QIB category in July this year. High net worth individuals, that's the non-institutional investors, they subscribed their portion over 62 times. Also, we've seen retail investors were very aggressive. They bought over 16.5 times the bid portion that was set aside for them. The employees quota as well of Tata Technologies and the shareholders quota of Tata Motors also saw 3.7 times and 29.2 times of their reservation portion as well. So you saw that all the categories of investors went ahead pretty aggressively to bid for Tata Technologies. So this is the kind of robust IPO performance that we saw, and on the back of that, there is a huge expectation that the listing could be very, very robust. Now, another important factor seen by the IPO by Tata Group was the record number of applications that they had received for the offer as well. Now, LIC, which was the last IPO receiving the highest ever number of applications, was 73.3 lakh in May of 2022. We saw for Tata Tech, 73.58 lakh applications were actually received right there. Now, LIC comes now at the second spot. Now, Prashant Tapsi, the research analyst and senior vice president research at Mehta Equities, believes that considering the overwhelming response that the investors had put in, there is an expectation that Tata Group legacy could continue to reward shareholders with a strong listing gain over and above 75% that could be assumed against the issue price of 500. Adding that there is a high possibility, as per street assumptions, that Tata Tech could also be a doubler candidate post listing as well. So which means that a 500 rupees issue price, even if it goes on to list at a 75-80% kind of a premium, there are high chances that it could double investors' wealth on day one itself. That's what the experts are saying. Now, he also believes that the superb listing premium could be justified mainly on the back of Tata parentage tag, which it enjoys in the first place, and of course the unique and as well as established global business model, which is fundamentally strong, generating healthy margins in the sector that it serves as well. Given the growth potential in outsourcing the business model, it would be greatly in demand going forward also, the experts believe. Now, the Pune-based global engineering services company offers product development and digital solutions, including turnkey solutions to global original equipment manufacturers or OEMs and their tier one suppliers as well. So that's something that, of course, is a unique possibility that investors can actually bet big on as far as Tata Tech is concerned. Now, Dhruv Muragadi, who's also again a research analyst at Stocksbox, he says that the shares of Tata Tech are expected to list at around 80% premium over the issue price of 500 rupees per share. He believes that the valuations are still fair. It's available at a PE of 32.5 times based on the FY23 earnings, and therefore it's fairly valued. The market capitalization at the issue price comes in at more than 20,000 crores, which is fair enough given the Tata parentage. He also believes that Tata Tech is a pure play manufacturing focused engineering research and development ER&D company, primarily focusing on the automotive industry, and it is currently engaged with the 7 of the top 10 automotive ER&D spenders and 5 of the 10 most prominent new energy ER&D spenders in 2022. And with increasing spending on the engineering research and development globally, it's going to be one of the major beneficiaries of such expenses by OEMs going forward too. Now, Tata Tech, as most of the experts believe, have a strong track record of growth and profitability. Its net profit has been growing at a compounded annual growth rate of 60%. The revenue at a compounded annual growth rate of 36% from FY21 to FY23. The company has raised about 3,042 crore rupees from the public issue, which comprises only offer for sale. So only the selling holders like Tata Motors and some of the funds are actually going to be gaining. But with the kind of listing that is expected, it could be among the top most successful IPOs which have made a stellar debut on the D Street. So far, we have Sigachi Industries that had made a 270% listing gain. Paras Defense had made a 185% listing gain. Religare Enterprises had made a 182% listing gain. Vishal Retail, a 178% listing gain. Aishwarya Telecom, 159% listing gain. Nitin Fire, 154% listing gain. Latent View, 148% listing gain. ICRA had made a 141% listing gain. Salazar Tech had made a 140% listing gain as well. Astron Paper, again, a 139% kind of a listing gain. Right now, the expectations are of an 80-85% kind of a listing gain, but remains to be seen whether the expectations could be surpassed even tomorrow. What's more is that the big question is, for all those allottees, you would be perhaps the luckiest one, but for those who failed to get the allotted bids, the experts still believe that if you have a very, very long-term prospect, then Tata Tech would still be a good play. However, one should avoid chasing the momentum and take a steady approach once the listing frenzy really settles down. Speak to your financial advisor and see what are the right entry points for you as far as Tata Tech is concerned in the secondary market as well. With that, we will wrap up this video right here. But do stay tuned on to Business Today TV to catch all the updates from the world of IPOs and what's really buzzing on the stock markets.